Hello, everyone, and welcome to another entry of the coronavirus diary. Today is Friday, March 20th, 2020. Today, I have my guest here today. Her name is Maureen Johnson. So, Maureen Johnson, can you tell pretty much the audience who you are? What do you do?
Hello, I am Maureen Johnson. I'm a middle school family and consumer science teacher. So I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. I teach in Prior Lake, Minnesota.
Cool. So, Maureen, the coronavirus obviously is infecting everybody and making other people have to kind of adapt to new situations. So how has the coronavirus kind of affected you and your job, pretty much job duties, I guess?
Okay, well, this week, students were instructed to stay home and teachers had to come in and learn how to be a teacher from long distance learning or flex learning or computer learning, whatever you want to call it. Um, and we use computers quite a bit already. Our 8th graders are one-on-one, but our 7th and 6th graders are not. So they had to figure out how are they going to get computers to the younger kids. And then we have had to work on our curriculum all week to figure out how are we going to administer curriculum to our students. I teach, cooking and nutrition and sewing and babysitting and all kinds of things. Some of the things they can do at home. We had a whole hand sewing project that we aren't going to be able to get back to the students, so that's kind of a disappointment because they had just gotten started on it. How much can we require families to provide? We figure they have food anyway, so we're going to have to adapt our assignments for them as far as cooking. So it's just everything is new. How to do a video conference, just like we're doing now. We were learning how to do a Google version of it. And so I have learned so much regarding technology, and how much I'm going to remember next week, we'll see.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you're kind of getting used to the situations. So I guess what is the most challenging part you think so far in this kind of the adaptation, I guess? Like, what is the most challenging?
I think for me, it's going to be the technology. I used to do, PowerPoints and things that I'd put up for the kids to see, but now to put it out as assignments and how to figure out how to put out assignments for them to submit so they're easy for me to grade. And I don't have to open a bunch of different tabs to get the calculations done. How do I do it so it all comes in and I can grade it in the same place? So figuring out how to do a rubric. And it's just so many different things. Now we have to do attendance, so I have to add attendance and make a new course so that my advisory kids check in with me and I can check that off. So it's new tasks every couple hours of things that we have to learn to do. The mind is spinning. This has been a very stressful week and very mentally challenging. Lots of note taking.
Wow. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. I know you mentioned one-on-one with your students. So if they were still there, do you teach about how many students do you teach per class, I guess?
Well, most of the classes are like 31 to 33. I have big classes. And our 8th graders are one-on-one with iPads.
Oh, okay. So so you do one-on-one. So how do you allocate time per student? That must be really challenging. Do you have a method that you use that you've discovered while kind of using this technology because of the coronavirus pandemic?
So going forward, you mean?
Yeah. Or just currently too.
Well, currently, we just use it sporadically for things in class. It's not entirely just straight computers. The kids are here, and most of the time we're telling them to put them away so they aren't playing on them or texting or all of those things. But sometimes there's, Kahoots to do or Quizlets to do or PowerPoints for them to go back in and review, basically things like that.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. I guess another question is, do you think um like the school system, like after this pandemic in the future, how do you think they're gonna like change to make it easier for you guys to teach? You think there's any
Well,
gonna
I
be
think
any?
we'll have a lot of changes. Well, one is the one-on-one with the iPad. So we've had iPad carts that we had to check out if we wanted to use them for our classes that were 6th and 7th grade. And we have enough in the building between Chromebooks and iPads for each student to have their own. So this week, that's one of the things they had to do was clean them all off physically, and then they had to do stuff with what was on the computers and clean them out. And now they're being assigned to each student, and the family has to come in and sign a waiver and pick it up so that each family for sure has a device. They
Mhm.
can't, as long as they have an internet connection, and the companies are providing free connections so that hopefully they'll be able to get on.
Wow.
So in the future, I think, it'll just make things easier when we do online quizzes. We do a lot of, online quizzes to help. I have over 300 students, so it's a lot. And so to be able to have a quiz that self-grades as it goes, or I only have to look at a couple questions, does save me a lot of time.
Wow. Yeah, that's that seems like a lot of, quick adapting, quick learning for the students and for yourself too. So
Well, the
yeah.
kids are better at it than we are.
There you go. Yeah. Especially since they're seventh and eighth grade, they're kind of used to technology now. So
Right. They're always helping me, telling me, oh, you got to press this button or that button.
yeah. So that's really nice about like the digital age, I guess, digital age generation. I guess another question would be for you personally, have you like done like any kind of preparation just in case when we get quarantined, when we can't leave our houses or anything like something severe happens? Have you done any kind of like preparations?
Well, we've picked up some extra water and some extra food. We haven't, filled the closets to the top or anything. So we have a little bit of extra stuff around. Um, I don't know. We haven't done, medicine. We made sure we
Okay.
had enough medicine at least for the next, 30, 40 days or so.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Oh,
hopefully at that point, if we need more, they'll let us out.
yeah. There you go. Well, cool. And then I see that are you at the middle school right now?
I am at the middle school right now. So teachers had an option. We had to be here Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday we had an option to work from home.
Okay.
For me, it's easier to be here. My husband works from home, and I have less distractions
Mm,
here than when I'm at home.
okay.
So it will be a challenge once I get my office set up at home to not be distracted by everything else. Um, and then my kitchens, I had to clean. We had to sterilize all the equipment in there, and so I had to be here to do that. Um, so there's just been a lot of hands-on things I needed to get done here. Not everything could be done on the computer. So,
Okay.
I'm by myself for the most part, so I have plenty of space between me and anybody else in the building.
Yeah. I was gonna actually ask you about that. Yeah, in the building, it's just you for today, I'm assuming.
Well, there's, I think 2 people in the office and the principal's here and a few other teachers, but we all have our own rooms, so it's not like there's a whole crew.
Right.
We do have a few extra people here because they're handing out the iPads to the 6th and 7th grade. So they have those set up in the gym and the cafeteria, and, they're wearing their gloves, and the people are come in, tell them their name, and they pick it up and hand it to them.
Okay.
So hopefully they aren't touching anything.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, is there like a line or is there like a certain times people can come in to just like grab the iPads that you
They
know
were
of?
told, I think it was 10 till 6 today.
Okay.
So
So there
yeah,
hasn't been like a big
hopefully,
flurry.
yeah, hopefully just spread it out so we don't have everybody coming at one time. I have the parking lot outside my windows, and I haven't seen a big slew of cars. So I
Okay.
think it's been kind of steady.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time and your information. Just before we go, do you have any other anything else you want to add to for the audience? Any future, I guess, any kind of advice or anything like that?
Well, I do think that it's going to be a big eye opener to parents to try to have their children do the schoolwork while they are home. We're concerned about the internet usage at homes for families. You might have one computer and 3 kids in school, and they all have assignments and videos to watch. And how much is the internet going to be able to handle everybody at one time? So there's a lot of unknowns that are coming with this, that I think everybody just has to slow down and be patient. We've been told to cut our curriculum down, so we aren't giving them the same quantity that they would have had they been in the building with us, because we know middle school kids are probably babysitting their elementary brothers and sisters right now too. And it's not as easy to just sit down and do the work. So I think parents are going to realize how much teachers do.
That's
When
a
they're
very good
trying,
point.
it's a little different than summer, because in the summer they're not trying to get them to do schoolwork at the same time.
That is
So,
very true.
now they get to see what it's like to get these kids to sit down and do their work, and they may have 3 or 4, and they don't have 30 or 35 in their room at the same time. So maybe teachers will be appreciated a little bit better across the world after all of this.
Hey, there you go, man. Like I said, well, thank you to
Sure.
being like my guest today for the Coronavirus Diaries.
Okay.
I appreciate that. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for Maureen for having me. For you to come on, and then just stay tuned and just subscribe, like our channel.